morning, everybody. So today I am at the Delaware River. And we're going to be fishing with some worms here today. I got a drop shot and I've got a wacky rig. I've done really well here in the past with the wacky rig, so that's what we're going to start off with. I am running a Gary Yamamoto. My first thought when I got here was that I was going to run a little bit of a Ned rig too, but I've been doing so well here with this particular wacky rig with the Gary Yamamoto. And you see what we have here. We're going wacky rig. This is a Gary Yamamoto green pumpkin back flake. And let's go on over near the river, get some casts in. So here's where we're at. It's a beautiful spot. This is one of those spots that is a private area that my town offers. If you're in this town, you can get to it. And we're going to do some fishing here. And hopefully we're going to get some light on that. That's not very light. Let's see if we retouch can lighten this up a little bit. Maybe a little bit, not really. Let's try that again. Not really. I was hoping it can get a little lighter. But anyway, we're gonna fish here. Yeah, if I'm close, it's not bad. We gotta fix this up a little bit so you guys get a better look at it. That's not working either. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. We want you guys to be able to get a good view of the river. And as I said, for all you that are joining us, how are you? Good morning. We are on the Delaware River, and we're going to be fishing a wacky rig. The river doesn't have a lot of flow right now, so it's a little slower. Let's get right to it. Let's throw this baby in. See what happens. Shall we? All right. Now, what I like to do on the river systems is there's a ton of smallmouth in here. And the smallmouth just kill it in this area. So I really like fishing this river system. We're at the Delaware River. And right now we have a wacky rig on. Basically, I just like to glide that wacky rig a little bit of weight, and that just kind of rides over some of those rocks. It would be nice to bring in a couple of smallies. Good morning to you that if you're just joining us. I'm here in New Jersey. I'm on the Delaware River. I'm fishing for smallmouth. I'm fishing with a Gary Yamamoto green pumpkin black flake. And we got our first bite. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our first fish on. He's not a big guy. Not a big guy. Got our first little smallie. Got our first little smallie, everyone. He's just a little guy, but he's a Delaware River smallie, and he is just cute as can be. Yes, sir. I tried fishing alone, failed twice. My only problem is my line always gets tangled up in the reel. All right, I got one for you on that one. Let's get this little guy back, shall we? Come on, you can see him come back. Here we go. There we go. Little smallmouth here at the Delaware River. No, they're not very good to eat. They really aren't. Smallmouth are not very good. Let's see, Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens. I don't know. I got to say the Ravens. Got to say the Ravens. I like Cincinnati, but they're banged up. I would say the Ravens. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. How you doing? Oh, welcome back. And yeah, there's walleye in here. I haven't gotten too many walleye out of the river, this part of the river here. But I do fish the walleye in some of the rivers that feed this area. I noticed a question earlier about someone's having trouble with their line getting tangled up. I'm not sure if you're fishing a spinning reel or if you're fishing a bait caster. Obviously, if it's a bait caster, there could be a number of problems why your reel's getting tangled up. Brake settings. I usually like to start my brake really tight and then work my way off. Okay, all right, so you got a spinning reel. So depending on the line that you're using, a lot of us will use monofilament because monofilament just kind of comes with a lot of these reels that you buy that already come pre-spooled. Monofilament has a tendency to have a lot of memory, so it kind of coils up. And when it coils up like that, when you throw it, it's just kind of like wrapping all over the place. My suggestion is, if you don't want to even deal with monofilament, just go straight braid. The straight braid is not going to have that memory that the monofilament will have. If you decide, hey, I just want to stay with monofilament, you can hook your hook to like anything, a tree, a bumper, and just kind of pull it, straighten it out, and see if you can get that stretched out. Let's get this lure back in there. We got one smallie on, and see if we can catch another one. What else we got here? Is that a light lure? Could be. Could be. So this spinning reel that I'm running right now, I do have braid on it. And with the braid, what I like to do is I'll put a monofilament or a fluorocarbon leader. So basically what I'm doing is I'm tying a leader on, and it makes a big difference. If you want to do a leader, at least it'll be like, so the fish can't see it. But a lot of these, like if you go with the greens on that braid, you're going to see that the fish really don't see the braid either. But yeah, try the braid. I had a lot of problems with some reels, especially like when you put your reels away for the winter and then you come back out in the spring, you'll have a lot of coil up on that monofilament. Braid doesn't do that. So get back after that braid. It'll help you out a lot. Let's get another cast in. All right, we're into it for one smallie. Welcome to my channel. I'm Kirk Allen. I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking us out. And yeah, got a couple people here. Delaware River, New Jersey. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Like I said, what we want to do here with the wacky rig is I like to drag them across the bottom. Had another little bite. Yeah, I like 15-pound braid. I'll go 15 to 20. Really, to me, anything over 20, I really haven't needed it. It's just a little too heavy. Yeah, 15-pound is good. I don't think you can go wrong with 15-pound braid. The one thing I will tell you about 15-pound braid is if you do a lot of spinnerbait fishing, sometimes that braid is just so narrow that it'll get caught in the little rings that hold your blades on. So if you run into that jam, that's where you might want to throw that leader on. Now we just had another little hit. Braid is a lot thinner than monofilament and fluorocarbon. So that's where sometimes you need to get a little bit thicker That's why some people will go with like 30-pound braid or 40 or 50 a pound braid just to get the line circumference so they don't get that tangle up in their rings. But if you're not fishing spinnerbait, you really don't have to worry about it. Oh, we had a hit, and when I came back and pulled out, it just went roping right past my head. Not good. So I'm on a 20-pound braid here, and thanks, man, appreciate it. How about the other one? I run a 20-pound braid, and I find that circumference is pretty good. I do run a leader on it. So a leader is where you tie a section of monofilament or fluorocarbon to the braid itself. It's a tough knot. I usually tie an Alberta knot. You can see how to tie them on the internet. On YouTube has tutorials on how to tie those knots, but it does make it good if you want to do those spinner baits. Like I said, those little rings, those little key rings that attach the blades or your hooks on there will sometimes get jammed up in a smaller line braid. I didn't think we were going to be talking about fishing line, but hey, I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I try to get those casts out there. I appreciate that. And we got the jelly up your crack. Well, hello, jelly up your crack. Yeah, so rather than just throwing my wacky rig out there and just let it sit and just die out there, usually what I like to do is I will... Oh, we got one. Decent. Got a decent sized one on this one, guys. What do you think? Not a bad smallie. Not a bad smallie at all. Oh boy, we might have to... We got him good. All right, well, it looks like we're going to have to get the old pliers out on this guy. Maybe not. There we go. All right, got ourselves a nice smallie. All right. Beauty, beauty. Really nice fish. So I caught this guy with a Gary Yamamoto black, or I'm sorry, green pumpkin black flake. Let's get him back in the water. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Oh, boy. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thanks, Jelly up the crack. Appreciate that. Oh, boy. Yep. Man, that's nice. That is really nice. A lot of times you're going to lose your baits when you catch those guys. And I did. So let's worm up, boys. Time to worm up. Let's go back to my truck and get another worm on. Shall we? Okay, let's do it. Sometimes when you move on live, it gets a little chattery. I apologize for that, if that happens. Okay. Yeah, 2 fish in 13 minutes is awesome. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. All right, let me show you what I'm fishing with. Real easy. The absolute most popular Senko on the market, Gary Yamamoto. And if you don't see these packages, here's the new style package. All right. So here's what you're looking for, my friends. One of these two packages, and you're looking for green pumpkin, black flake. It just gets them every time. The fish absolutely love them. I think if you wanted to just carry one worm, that's the definite worm you go for. Here's what we're working with. Little Senko. Oh man, you got to try it. Got to try it. Just grab yourself a circle hook, no problemo. And what you're going to do is you're going to see the worm right here. Right behind what this is considered the egg sac. Right behind that egg sac is about the center. That's where you want to hook them. You're just going to go right through the plastic like that. And we're going to dangle them just like that. All right? Whopper ploppers are great. Man, I catch a ton of fish on whopper ploppers. What I will tell you with whopper ploppers are usually going to be in the early morning when you got dawn, or basically, yeah, dawn, and late in the evening around dusk. I usually catch a lot of fish on the whopper ploppers, and in the summer, of course. You don't have to get crazy. Let's see here. I would say like a 1/0 is probably what you need there on the hook. I do get a weighted hook. It probably will work out really nice for you, especially if you're fishing around like areas that have some, well, so I also have my hook also has a guard on it, a weed guard. So if you get those, you can drag them through the rocks real nice. It's got a little tungsten weight on it. So they're made by VMC. So if you want to check these hooks out, VMC makes these hooks. It's a weighted hook with a little weed guard there, and that one got bent up a little bit from that last fish. So we're going to bend that out a little bit. You can see that kind of just protects the hook from getting hooked up in the rocks. And I believe this is it's either a 1/0 or a 2/0. I think it's a 2/0. Comes from VMC. It's going to be called a weighted wacky hook. And you can get these at Dick's. Bass Pro Shops has them. I don't know if you're local to a Bass Pro Shops, but you can get them online easy too. All right, let's get another cast out there. Let's catch another one. And let's see. So far, we got a little bigger on the second fish. The first fish was maybe just under half a pound. He wasn't a real big guy. I'd say the second fish was maybe a... Did I say second fish both times? Maybe I did. So the first fish was about a half pound. Second fish, almost, I'd say almost 1 3/4 pound, maybe just under 2. Let's see if we can get another one. My reel is filthy dirty. My reel is filthy dirty. So here's where we're at. Check this out. Check this area out. You know what? I don't think I can talk right now. I think I have a fish. Yep, we got another one on. Oh, no, we don't. I think I just got hooked up in a rock. But we got out. Let's see if we still have our worm on. I got snagged up behind a rock or something. Yeah, we just got snagged up behind a rock. I was like, holy crap, we got another one. But hey, that's going to happen too, right, guys? All right, let's get them back in there. Like I said, here's what we're working with. Green pumpkin, black flake. Surprisingly, you still have to take care of your bait. So basically, you got to dance with your bait. All right. To just let it sit in there, the current is going to pull that bait through the underneath by the rocks. So it's very easy to get that bait like tucked up underneath a rock where you can't get it. I'm gonna try to get a better picture so you guys can kind of see if I do catch one. And you're going to work your bail. You're going to do a lot of bail work. So basically, as I'm bringing them through, I can feel the rocks with that little tungsten weight on the end of that wacky hook. All right. And we're just going to work them through. I can feel the rocks through the sensitivity of the rod. But sometimes you're going to be like, okay, I just got over a rock, and you're going to let your bail out, let it fall, and allow that current to get that bait to continue on. And there we go. Definitely want to keep our tips up. Nice jump. I hope you guys got a look at that. Probably not. Oh, another nice one. Another nice one. All right, easy buddy, easy buddy. Let's get them rinsed off for you so you get a good look-see. What do you think? I'd say probably a nice another 1.5 pounds, maybe 1.75 pounds. What am I looking for when they cast? Like what areas I'm looking for? You know, here I'm on the river, so they're really, you can fish it. You can pretty much fish anyway. Your bait is going to get pulled down on the river. But here's what we got here. Beautiful fish, guys. Beautiful fish. That is number 3. Damn, 3 already. Yeah. Let's get a release on this guy. How should we release him? Should we just let him zip out? Or should we give him a friendly toss? I'll let you guys respond. A swim out or a friendly toss? You tell me. Beautiful fish. Wow. All right, we'll give him a toss. There you have it, my man. That's 3 today. 3 today. So I know that Canon camera, I know that you were hanging out with me last time. And thanks for coming back, because the last time we went fishing, we were at the lake. It was a really cloudy day, and we didn't catch a darn fish. I don't know if you remember, but some days you're going to have those tough days. So I usually do pretty good here at the river. So I decided, man, let's bring you back. Let's bring you back over here to the river and check it out. Listen, we're just sight fishing today. So on a river system, you're just kind of allowing the river to do its thing. You get them casted out there. You let them land in the water. You let the current do its work. You have to stay with your bait, though. You don't want to just throw it out there and go get a cup of coffee. Your lure's basically tumbling down the river in the current. So just like we had that one time where our lure got hung up under a rock, that's because I wasn't like paying attention to that lure. You have to pay attention to it. If you turn your back on it, it's going to get hung up. Let's see, do we still have our worm? Well, here's a real good look at that hook. These big boys, they will knock the worm off. The bigger ones are definitely going to knock the worm off. So we are at 3 fish so far, 3 smallmouth, and they keep getting better. The last fish were better than the first. Let's get another worm. So we're making our way over to our truck. And I was going to fish an Ed rig today. I think I made the right choice so far. I think I made the right choice. All right. Okay. All right, what do we got? Oh. Well, you know, here's the thing with smallmouth, okay? And if I remember right, I think you said you were from Oregon, if I remember correctly. So the smallmouth like to hang out they're pretty much in the colder areas. Michigan, yeah. Oh, Michigan, you should be catching them left and right. The smallies are all over the place in Michigan. The thing of it is, now you got to find those lakes that you can get to them. The river system do love the smallies. So if you have any rivers near you, you'd be really surprised. A lot of times the rivers, you look at them like, oh man, that water's moving so fast. And that's when you want to add a little more weight to your rigs, so you can get a better opportunity to catch the fish. So this one's tiny. It's only a 3/16. You can move up to a 1/4 ounce. You can move up to a 3/8, and find that weight that's not going to get you too down too fast, because we want that Cinco to kind of glide down and make that weird little shimmy as it goes down. I'm going to stay with the same color. It's really hot. Here we go. Gonna throw on another Cinco. States that have cold weather are usually pretty good states for smallies, for sure. So New Jersey has a cold weather season. Michigan definitely has a cold weather season. And you know, the smallmouth hang out there. New York is really good for smallmouths. There's some areas you don't even catch a largemouth. Wow. Yeah. 4.5 pound is a very good smallmouth. Smallmouths don't get nearly as big as largemouth. And here in the northern area, like I'm in New Jersey, Michigan, you're definitely up north, they don't get quite as big as they do in the south, because they basically have to hibernate every year, right? So, you know, when you see these guys on video on YouTube and they're ripping out 5 and 6 pounders and 7 pounders, it's like, oh man, I'd love to catch one of those. Well, it's going to be really, really tough in the northern states. We just don't catch them like that. They're just not as big in our states. So don't feel like, you know, being from some of these northern states like Michigan or, you know, New York or New Jersey, don't feel too bad if you're not catching those 6 and 7 pounders. They're just not here. So really, our top fish is like in the 5 to 6 pound range. So if you catch a 4.5 pounder, that is a huge fish. That's a huge fish for the area. So let's get another cast out here and see what we can do. I'm gonna make sure I'm still in stream here. Okay, so we're in it for 3 fish, 3 smallmouth. So far, everyone has been better than the first. So hopefully we'll be able to pony up another big one. Let's hope so. I'd really love to get you guys where you can see the fight. That would be great. So I got some really great action on the bite. That fish was jumping all over the place. Ooh, sorry guys. Sorry, I'm making a few adjustments. Just a few adjustments. Pretty nice spot, huh? Like I said, right now I'm on the Delaware River here in New Jersey. If you're just stopping by, thanks for coming by and checking us out on live, vertical live. We've been fishing for about 30 minutes. We have caught 3 smallies. And I almost got hung up there. Let's get another cast out. Pretty much I've been cast for cast. I think I only really casted How many times did I cast? Maybe 5 times. We got 3 out of those 5. That was about the first time I brought my lure back without a fish on it. So when I cast it in the first time, yeah, 5 casts, right? That was cast 6 now. But what I usually like to do in the river systems is when I get that first cast, you know, I like to leave my bail loose and let slack get out there, especially on these Cincos. We want them to really fall down and get to the bottom, and then we're going to work the bottom. Mornings are good. Mornings are good. We've been having some crazy weather here in New Jersey. I mean, it's been really, really super cold, and today's pretty mild. Yesterday, it was almost 80 degrees out yesterday. So we've been getting some really fantastic weather. The mornings are good. Late evenings are good, you know, just before it gets dark. So, yeah, those are good times to get out and get fishing. Now we may have lost our school. I think we got into a group of fish that don't seem to be there anymore. And you know, that's the crazy thing with the river systems also, is you can fish a river system in the same area for like 20-30 minutes and not catch a fish, and then all of a sudden get fish biting one after another, and you're like, what is going on here? But a lot of times what happens in the river systems are the fish are basically almost like patrolling. They're going up and down the river, and they're making their way back and forth. We can get another cast out here. I'm getting a little close to the shore. Let that drop. Give our line a little slack. The other thing I like to do too is when I'm fishing these wacky rigs, is I'll actually give myself just a little twitch like this. So I'm gonna pop off the bottom, and as I pop off the bottom, my worm's gonna pop up and it's gonna shimmy back down. Pop up, shimmy back down. Pop up, shimmy back down. That's kind of what the action's happening. But the more movement I do in my wrist, just kind of jiggling it around, the more my worm's gonna have some action to it, and it can create that bite. It can get that bite on. Oh, well, we had a bite, but we lost him. Yeah, let's make sure our worm's still there. Yeah, he's still there. That was a good hit. That was a good hit. Crushed my hook up a little bit. Crushed my guard up. Get my guard set back up, and that was pretty close to the edge. I was actually surprised. I was kind of like thinking, oh man, but yeah, he slammed it. Slammed it, but didn't take it. Like I said, I was working that worm, so it made that little difference in presentation rather than just kind of sitting there Hey Sandra, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Rather than it just sitting there laying dead on the bottom, just that little twitch had created that reaction bite. Oh, I would have loved to bring that fish in to show you. I would probably think that was another smallie. The one thing about the smallmouth is, well, their name says it all. They have a smaller mouth. So a lot of times they're not able to inhale the Cinco like a largemouth. Now we're going through a stretch here where we're not getting bites now. I'm gonna get you a little more angled, a little more on this angle here. Trying to give that worm a little shimmy. Trying to work that shimmy a little bit. Up and I'm got under a rock. I didn't even have to, I just laid there. Oh yeah, I think we broke off. All right. Guess what, kids? We broke off. Looks like we're going to be doing a little tying. All right, brother. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. All right, guys. You got it. You're welcome for the tips. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for seeing those catches. Oh, wait. You want to watch the tie? All right. It just so happened. Now listen, it broke at my leader, so I'm gonna have to tie a leader. So it's gonna be a Alberta knot. They take a little time, so I don't know if you got time for an Alberta knot or not. But it broke at my leader. I don't know if you're gonna tie leaders on or not. Tell me, you gonna tie leaders on, or you're just gonna tie direct? If you're gonna tie direct, I'll throw a tie direct on. All right, here we are back in my tailgate. First thing we like to do. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Just for you, I'm just gonna tie a straight up tie on this. Okay. Let's grab the right hook. And you can tie it either way. You don't really have to have a leader. If you're running braid, you can just tie it right out. Here's the hook we're going to be using, okay? All right, I have blackheads. They come in black and green, all right? Here's the knot I like to use. Really, really easy, okay? Like I said, I don't normally direct tie, but I'm going to direct tie because I know you got to get to work. All right, obviously we want to feed it through the hole. Really simple. We want to create a loop like this. And then what we're going to do is, I don't know if this is going to look like a 6 to you. We're just going to loop this around like this. Okay. And it's going to look like a 6. All right. And we're going to take this line and we're just going to feed this through. All right. We're going to feed that through that loop. And we're going to do that. I like to do it 4 times. Okay. Got one more time to go around. All right, so we loop that around there 4 times, and we're just gonna tighten that up a little bit. Now this is kind of gross, right? But you gotta get it damp. And then we're just gonna pull that tight, and you're gonna see that leaves us a nice knot there, all right? And then we're gonna cut off our tag end. And that's it. There's your knot. Now that is a direct tie. Let me see if I can slow that down a little bit so you can see it. That's our knot, okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. Hopefully it's a pretty easy one. Like I said, loop it around, make it look like a 6, and then you want to get 4 loops through it, tighten it up, and you'll be good to go. As I said, that's just a direct tie. I don't normally throw direct ties, so normally I'm putting a leader on. So I'm going to put a leader tie on too. This is not normally the way I would fish, but listen, you can go right after this and get this right out there. All right, we're going to throw a leader on. I don't know if I'm as fast tying a leader on. A leader is a little bit harder, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. So when I'm tying leaders on, I'm usually using monofilament or fluorocarbon. All right, it depends on what you're thinking, what you want. So monofilament is a floating line. So monofilament is going to allow that bait to fall down a little bit slower. Fluorocarbon is a sinking line. So that's going to help your line get down. So being I am working the bottom, I'm going to use the fluorocarbon. And I like the fluorocarbon actually for a lot of my sinking baits. So we're going to go ahead and put on a little bit of fluorocarbon here. And the knot is an Alberta knot. Basically what you want to do with an Alberta knot is you're going to create a loop like this. And I'm not great at this. So this is usually I'm doing this by myself. Not worried about people watching me and thinking, oh man, am I going to get in trouble here? So the one trick with these knots are, all right, is we're going to feed our braid through our line like this, okay? And we want to basically have 2 loops. Our loops are going to be like this, and you got to remember that we went down into this loop, all right? And then what we're going to do here is we're going to take our braid and we're just going to come around, and we're going to come around 8 times. This is going to be terrible. I just have a feeling. I'm going to go around 8 times here. Yeah, this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Don't judge me on this one, guys. I think I left out way too much line here. Yeah, I'm going to have to restart. I messed this up. Okay. Like I said, this is tough when you're trying to show it. Usually I'm usually I got stuff to make this a little easier. All right, let me see here. I went down. I'm going to loop this out. This is terrible. This is terrible. All right. Anyway, let's see what we can get here out of it. All right. We're going to do direct tie. Because I don't want to bore you with, tying. You know what? I'm going to tie it. So it's going to be quiet here for a little bit because I gotta be attentive to this knot. This knot is not a very easy knot to tie. And we're going to make our way back on these loops. So we're basically doing 8 loops out, 8 loops back. And this is the big trick. We need to make sure that we go back in our loop the same way we came out. So now we got to go back down. We came in up, we got to go back down out. All right. So now what we're going to do here is we're just going to pull the snug. We got to give it a little spit. Okay. And we're just going to bring that in. We're going to let go of our tag ends. And we're going to pull this snug. Uh-oh, I may have, yep, oh, we got it. All right, and that's the knot. That's the knot that we're hoping for at the end of the day. All right, so that is an Alberta knot. Sorry, I couldn't really give you a great tutorial on it, to be honest with you, because it's one of those knots that I've just kind of learned it myself. And but basically what we're doing here is we're connecting our braid line to our fluorocarbon here. You could use this knot with fluorocarbon and or monofilament for sure. Now the trick with these are you need to, rather than using scissors, because this knot is going to be passing through the eyelets of our rod. What we want to do is we want to grab our tag end and we want to clip with a pair of nail clippers as close to that knot as possible. All right, so it doesn't give us a little like it's not going to hang up when we go through our line there. Now the braid's a little bit softer, so we don't have to worry about the braid as much. So you can get your braided type scissors and you can cut that as close as possible. Be careful you don't cut your knot. All right, and that's our knot. That's our knot. All right, and that's an Alberta knot. All right, now how much line do you want? Well, I'm going to tell you. You're going to take a full arm's length. All right, 1 full arm's length, and then I'll take a half. Okay, this way when we have break-offs, we can just cut it off. And here's the knot to the hook again. Real simple. Gonna get it through the through our eyelet. You're gonna loop it out of your hook. All right. Like I said, you're just gonna roll this over, and you're gonna make almost what looks like a 6, and you're gonna loop this through 4 times. 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ha 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 ha. Dampen that up, pull tight, and there you have a fisherman's knot. There's another name for this. I can't remember the name for it, but there is the knot there. We're gonna just clip off our tag end. Let's get back fishing. Let's get back some fishing. We had 3 smallies so far, 3 smallies. But we had an unfortunate line break, and we had to retie. So that's why we're standing next to my tailgate instead of next to the river. But we're going back to the river right now. All right. That's what we're fishing with. It is a Gary Yamamoto green pumpkin back flake Cinco. Get some things closed back up here. Let's reel this guy back in. All right. All right, let's get back to the river. Let's get some more fishing in. We have some guests. We got a bunch of Canadian geese come in. We caught so far 3 today. 3 smallmouth. And we're going to get back after it. Let's see here. Does this go here? What happened here? All right. 3 smallies so far. Going to get back in it. We got a new leader tied on. We're all tied up, ready to go. Get out there, green pumpkin. Let's get them. Let's get them. Well, I didn't think we were going to be tying knots today, but hopefully that'll help you guys out. So we did 2 knots on our hook, and we got to show you a leader tie knot, which is the Alberta knot. Now we got to catch a fish to make it worthwhile to tie those knots, right? So this is my last green pumpkin Cinco. So let's hope it can get me one. If it can't, we're going to have to make a decision on what we switch to next. I have other variations of green pumpkin. I don't know if they're going to be as effective. I hope I didn't make jelly up your crack late for work. All right. Yeah, we got a bunch of geese making a bunch of noise over there. So we're over here at the Delaware River, and we're fishing for smallmouth. We're fishing a wacky rig Cinco, fishing with the Gary Yamamoto green pumpkin back flake. So far we caught 3 smallmouth. Each smallmouth was getting bigger than the last, but we kind of went into a lull. So we haven't caught any fish in a little bit. Let's see here. We haven't caught any fish in a little bit. And actually we had to do some line tie tutorial. I didn't think that's where this video was going to go. But we had to do some tying. So our leader broke, so we had to tie on a new leader, and we also had to tie on our hook, obviously, and then we're running a wacky rig style hook. So hopefully you're having a nice day. I am. I caught 3 fish, so how could you not have a nice day yet? But that's a good start to the day. That's a real good start to the day. 3 smallmouth on, one getting bigger than the last. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys coming aboard and hanging out with me for a little bit. This video will be posted, so if you want to go back and see those fish that we caught, I'm going to go ahead and post this video. I also have a video coming out tomorrow of some fishing where I got just under a 5-pounder. 5-pound largemouth was in that last video, and that's going to be fishing a private pond. That video is going to come out on Friday, so that's tomorrow. So keep your eyes open for that. We just thought we would do a little bit of live session here, being we're here on the Delaware River. I thought, I might as well bring you guys along and check it out. And we caught 3 smallmouth. Welcome aboard. Thanks for stopping by. And we are fishing this lure. The good old Cinco, the Cinco. This is a wacky rig style. We got them on a VMC weighted hook, and we're going to go ahead and throw them out there and see if we can catch another smallmouth. We've caught 3 so far. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. And each one was getting bigger than the last. So far, I think the biggest one was maybe close to a 2-pounder. Our first one was just a baby. We got a lot of activity now with the geese hanging out on the lake or the river. So thanks for stopping by. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you've been fishing lately and how you've been making out. Let me know if you have any questions about what we're doing here today. Be glad to answer them. And I can answer them in live time. Well, the bite has really died off so far. The bite has really died off. So we're going to try to cast a little bit further upriver. All right, so today we have our St. Croix Victory. This is a St. Croix Victory, beautiful rod. I'm running a medium power rod, and we have a Shimano Stratic reel on there. It's been a real nice reel. That's kind of funny, but these go on sale quite a bit. So It's an expensive reel that you can get for discounts. They just changed over the styling on them, so you may be able to get this particular style reel on discount. I know Tackle Warehouse has them. Bass Pro Shops has them. Very smooth reel. Very smooth reel on the Shimano Stratic. And it's a nice setup with this. Well, that's going to come in reverse, isn't it? So that's not really going to work out for you. But again, we're fishing with a St. Croix Victory. And we just got hung up again. Oh boy, this isn't good. We're hung up. We're hung up. It's the hang up show. All right, so we got hung up. So I'm probably gonna have to make my way down this line here and see if I can get myself unhung up. Well, unfortunately, we're at that part of the show where we got hung up. And it's going to be one of those ones where we have no choice, but we're going to have to break off. That kind of stinks, but sometimes that's going to happen, guys, especially when you're fishing in the rivers. The rivers are pretty unforgiving. So we're going to have to break this bad boy off. Now, if you watched earlier, I did a couple knot ties, and the knot ties that I put together, the one thing about these knot ties are they break pretty easily, so you don't have to worry about replacing all your line. Yeah, it was a clean break. Clean break. We broke off, got caught in between some of those rocks. I'm happy to see that my leader knot, my Alberta knot, is still intact, but time to throw another hook on. So let's get up here. We caught 3 today. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. 3 smallmouth today. I'm gonna tie this up, but that's gonna conclude today for fishing. So I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, you're always welcome to come by on the Kirk Allen channel. Please comment on the video if you have any questions. I feel free to ask them, and I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. Or if I need to, I'll go check and find out exactly what's going on and what you need. All right. So thanks again. Really appreciate it. Down here fishing on the Delaware River. Thanks. You guys have a good day, all right? Take care.